Okay, I want to thank everybody for tuning into my first podcast. These are going to be audio only, at least to start out. I will probably experiment with video later on, and I will go into more of the point of the podcast and things of that nature after I just tell everybody a little bit about myself. So I was actually born in Kansas City, Missouri. I've been in Jackson County my entire life. I have two older sisters. One is 8 years older and the other is 10 years older. And so I kind of grew up as an only child in a way. While I was in Kansas City, I lived actually off Palmer Avenue in Kansas City, off 57th Street. And that was actually constructed by my grandfather. And he had purchased the land, I believe, sometime in the late 50s. And he had houses built, and he actually sold them to nothing but family members. And so it was a unique situation growing up there in my childhood. It was actually a dead-end street that was really exclusively, or at least almost exclusively, family members. And there were 8 houses total, so there were quite a few. They were pretty large houses too, and then there were woods after all the houses. And so it was an interesting time. I mean, I was 2 houses down from my grandparents, and a couple of houses down from my aunt and other cousins, and I mean, it was a good experience, definitely. And so whenever I was 9 years old, my parents and I actually moved to Independence, and I went to Fort Osage School District after that. I actually went to the Raytown School District prior. I went to Eastwood Hills Elementary School. But after the move, in 1992, I went to Fort Osage. I graduated in 2001. I do have an associate's degree in computer science, which was mostly done while I was working for Jackson County. I'm single, and I enjoy writing. I'd like to publish a few of my writings one day. I've done a lot of writing already. I've actually wanted to start a podcast for a while, and so I guess this kind of serves that purpose. I enjoy just researching, reading about local history, genealogy. I have a family tree, do a lot of genealogy stuff. I enjoy walking, exercise, going to the gym. With the genealogy, it really helped working in the same building as the Historical Society and Jackson County Records, so I tended to bug them from time to time. I am a member of the Independence Square Association, and I have a soft spot for animals. I've donated to the North Shore Animal League since around 2006. If I do see a stray animal, I will try endlessly to try to feed them somehow. I get made fun of a little bit by some of my good friends for this. I keep cat food in my car at all times, generally just in case I run across any stray animal of any sort, especially whenever it's colder out and things of that nature. I do also bowl. I generally am in one bowling league every fall or summer. My average is around in the mid-190s. Obviously, goes up and down quite a bit over the course of a year, but it's currently in the mid-190s, so that's what I will say. And I do tend to keep people on their toes with my sense of humor and pranks. I'm sure past and present coworkers can confirm this. And I do currently have a full-time job. And I am able to work from home, and I've been doing the current job for 5 years. It was 5 years in February, and it's the same job that I went to after I left Jackson County. And it was a difficult decision to leave after 12 years, and if that's, the situation of how I started and how I left is something people end up wanting to know more about, I would be definitely open to going more into that, in future podcasts. I mean, there's really nothing is off limits, honestly. And more than anything, I'm an honest person. I mean, I value honesty really more than anything else. And sometimes, that can be, it can be a good thing, but sometimes I can come across as being a little bit negative because I am honest. And because I'm not a politician, I'm not like the majority, or I'm most like the majority, I should say, of the people that are going to be listening to this. I'm most like probably you, in that, I have a full-time job. I can't work around my own scheduled hours and, things of that nature. I can't, attend political endeavors and, go and wait for the cameras. And, I've not attended the whole, or I've not gone through the political brainwashing tactical training that, is often used in these sort of elections as well. Whether that be a good thing or a bad thing, I guess we'll find out. So, I mean, I am going to be honest with you, and if I have ever am asked questions, I will be honest about that also. And so I'll never make promises that I can't keep. I plan on being around. I mean, if I were elected, I mean, I would want to have a good reputation after the fact. I mean, I've got a lot more working years left. I know that there are some that are up for election for county executive that they will likely retire after the 4 years. So, I mean, really, for their life purposes, it's not going to really matter how good of a job they do. I mean, because they're just going to be kind of riding off into the sunset. And I definitely am not like that, and even if that were the case, it really wouldn't matter. But I would love to hear feedback, positive and negative, very open to questions. And so the purpose of this podcast, again, given that I'm like the majority of Jackson County citizens, I feel really this is the best way that I can interact with the citizens of Jackson County. I can't, skip out on work or set my own hours accordingly, to go out and kiss babies and, try to, confront a reporter or things of that nature. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to do my best to get out, speak to the public, promote myself, attend anything and everything that I possibly can. But I mean, again, I'm like an actual Jackson County citizen. And so, I mean, that's really the point, of the podcast. And I would like to continue this throughout the months and even beyond. I mean, I really enjoy doing this sort of stuff. So, I mean, this isn't, by any means painful for me. I like getting my thoughts out there, and I love hearing from other people also. I hope you follow my Facebook, Twitter, continue to listen, and for all the ways that you can contribute, I'll post the links in the video description. And I thank you, again, I want to emphasize the fact that I'm really thankful, really, to be even in the running and to be considered. It is really an honor. That's something that, my thoughts won't change on that. And I know this podcast was a little bit more boring, probably a little bit boring just about me, but I just kind of wanted to establish ground, and I will post again shortly, and I hope everybody had a good weekend and everybody is doing well.